In the case where it's, people who are just, oblivious or don't know how they're going through or can't relate or can't help, and then they're contributing in other ways that are kind of, unintentional in a sense. I would say this is an opportunity for you to let go of expecting from people, and which sounds a bit like dramatic, but I think the first and foremost thing, and this is what's good about depression, is that it drives you towards God, right? It drives you to have that relationship with God first, because the closer you approach God, the more God sustained you are. And so it's easier to have lopsided relationships when you are being powered by God. And so, yeah, like I think when people keep holding on to lopsided relationships and they're trying to like fix things and they're expecting people to change, I think that's when you get burnt. That's when the fire comes around and it burns you. I think it's about letting that go, redeveloping your foundation with God first, becoming filled with Him and His life and His love, and then returning to this relationship and extending this love to them. And I think very often, more often than not, it helps change the person because you are being filled with goodness, and that goodness overflows, and it's going to be contagious, right, in a good way. And I think that's how we love our neighbors while still enduring, I guess whatever inequities you might feel. It's about giving that to God. All those injustice or unfair feelings or I'm being oppressed, I think give that to God first, and then return with love, with more peace, and I think that's obviously, it's not, you don't do that all in one go. I think it's a lot of times a cycle, repeated patterns of, I'm going to take some time off, get closer to God, draw on Him, come back, new problems come around, I'm going to return to God. And I think that He loves it when we run to Him with our problems.
Absolutely. And firstly, I 100% agree with the fact that we need to be filled with God's love first in order to extend that love to others without growing bitter in a lopsided relationship. As you mentioned, lowering expectations from people with less capacity sounds like a practical way to prevent bitterness too. I want to add that there is value in communicating this change of expectation in certain instances in order to love those people better. Something that we will dive deeper into our next episode. Until then, God bless.